You're listening to Champion Cinema with Chris and Chris.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Champion Cinema. I'm Chris with a Carter Birksea. I'm going to lock you in a room with a face hugger because I'm a bastard.
No.
Sorry, no. I'm a corporate rat fuck son of a bitch. To paraphrase Hudson in the movie.
Well, I'm Chris with a Yaphet Koto. Okay.
Yeah, because this week we're taking a trip to Spaceland and we're going to look at the first two Alien movies. That'd be Alien and Aliens.
Yes.
Two of your... Well, Aliens, we've mentioned this a lot of time, is... Yeah, it's your favourite movie of all time, right?
Yeah, I would say easily. It's one I just always can watch and stuff, and it's one that I had a really close affinity with when I was like, 6 or something.
Yeah, one of those.
Scared the bejesus out of us, but...
Didn't you, wear out your fucking old VHS of, the special edition?
I did, yeah. Yeah, it would, make those noises, when it was in the machine. It was like, And then one day it just snapped.
I was going to say, you're just waiting for the day it finally snapped.
Champion Cinema.
So Alien was released in 1979, runs for 1 hour and 57 minutes, directed by homeboy Ridley Scott. It stars Sigourney Weaver as Ripley, Tom Skerritt as Dallas, Ian Holm as Ash, John Hurt as Kane, Yaphet Koto as Parker, Harry Dean Stanton as Brett, Veronica Cartwright as Lambert, and Bojali Bodejo as the xenomorph in question. But what is the plot?
Well, when a crew of space truckers are woken up early from cryosleep by their AI, very ahead of its time this movie, in response to a distress beacon. So tracking the beacon, they touch down on a remote and seemingly barren moon where they discover a derelict alien vessel. It's not long before they regret doing so, however, as Kane, one of the crew members, becomes infected by a parasitic organism.
Impregnated in the face.
Yes.
Well, I think we were talking about this the other night. I think you probably said you probably saw Aliens first, right? I think I did.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Yeah. Which is it's probably a weird way to say it, really.
I mean, it is, but
In some ways.
But when I was watching Aliens today, I was thinking, obviously it's it's common opinion, and it is true. It is one of the best sequels of all time for a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. But I also think it works as a standalone movie as well. They fill in on what you need to know, but if you hadn't seen it, you're not going to be lost.
Oh, yeah. No, it's really good. That, first, 15, 20 minutes really catches you up.
Yeah, well, and it doesn't feel like forced exposition either.
No.
It all feels like realistic dialogue. But I think I probably saw Aliens on TV when I was what we've talked about before. I walked in on it a bunch of times and saw the fucking worst bits out of context, which scared the piss out of us. I mean, even with Alien, I remembered as well, the first bit I ever saw of Alien was the fucking disembodied Ash head scene. When she's talking to it, and I was like, what the fuck? Because I was thinking of Aliens going, the fuck is the first Alien? This looks weird.
Yeah, I bet.
But yes, I probably saw Alien a bit after that, but it was probably a few years after. Because I think just the thought of and seeing the trailer, I was like, man, that looks too fucking scary compared to Aliens. So
yeah,
I
think that's it. I think with Aliens, I mean, yes, there are some definite scary bits in it for a kid.
Oh yeah,
but the action kind of carried us through the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
But with Alien, there's just, and we've talked about this before. I don't know if on the show, but there's just such a foreboding feeling of dread.
Yeah.
Throughout this movie. There's the beautiful opening credits and just the quietness and the slowness of it and stuff. And then when the camera kind of goes through the ship and things are coming to life, and there's just something about it that makes you think, ugh, something bad's going to happen.
It's just everything, really. It's the music. Jerry Goldsmith's score, for a film that's about an alien killing people one by one in a spaceship, at least for the first half, his score is very subtle and quiet.
Yeah.
And then I've always loved, this and Blade Runner. I love the design of the world and the technical, it's almost like an analog future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of the time it was made, but it has a really nice, lived-in, real feel to it.
Yeah, all the. I'm trying to think what the word is, but the piping, on the walls, that plush piping or whatever it's called. It's something. I mean, I guess I was going to say it only exists in Alien, but I'll pause and correct myself. I guess you saw that sort of stuff in Buck Rogers and stuff as well. That somewhat 70s aesthetic, brown carpeted walls and shit like that. But there's just something about it. It's very, very Alien.
Yeah.
I think that's why, like, and we'll get to it later, but like Alien Isolation works so well because it's such an iconic look that all you have to do is put like a few little set pieces up on walls and you can just be transported straight into the world of Alien.
Yeah.
Because it's got such a strong look.
Yeah, like I remember when like I played Alien Isolation, I hadn't watched Alien for a good few years probably, and I watched it after I was playing the game for a bit, and I was like, fuck me, they got everything so spot on.
Yeah.
Like all the sound, all the just the architecture and stuff, using the same vents, I think they probably did use the exact same, they just lifted the sound effects from like the archive, because it's exactly the same.
All those like mechanically computer noises as well, and stuff, and they're kind of crazy. Such a great design though, the movie.
Yeah, like did Giga have any hand in like set design? Apart from like the LV-426 stuff, did he have any hand in like the ship design, or was that all like Ridley Scott and his other team?
Yeah, it was. I believe it was all these because it was. I'm trying to think now. I should have looked it up before we started. There's two guys that did the art and conceptual stuff, and then there's a guy that like brought it all to life on the sets. So it was kind of like an effort by three people.
Because it would have been a British guy, right?
Yeah.
Would have been all shot in Britain and stuff.
Such a great job. I think that's something that's like lost in, and you're right, like, you know, going towards like the British, like the craftsmen, like creating sets and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess that's like something sadly that is lost in a lot of films now. Well, I think as well, like limitation makes Alien as well, because like, you know, yes, it wasn't a humongous budget. It was a modest budget for the time.
A decent budget, yeah.
But I think they were still, you know, like hemmed in by like what they could do on camera. So it forces like creativity and stuff, and the sets look real and stuff, and like look like somebody could actually live and work in them as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It looks like an actual functioning workplace. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I will say though, like as much as I enjoy Aliens and like Alien 3, sometimes I wish there was only Alien and nothing else. Because I know like what we'll get to, like when Prometheus, like it turns out it's not the actual space jockey in Prometheus that you see in Alien. Yeah. But the mystery of that ship and whoever that is kind of ruined now when you watch Alien. Not ruined. I try not to let like sequels I don't like affect me perception of like the original movie. But it does pop into your head.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
Seeing that guy at the start of Prometheus fucking jizz in the puddle or something.
Yeah, basically kills himself and becomes one of the live stream or whatever.
Yeah, some bollocks.
And it's ironic actually that Alien was like kind of picked apart by the critics at the time, because people ironically were like,
what's this? Why not explain?
Yeah, like what's the space jockey? People were like annoyed at the space jockey at the time.
It's like one of the best things about the movie, just the mystery of like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And why is the shitloads of eggs there?
It's just so crazy that people would be like enraged by that. And that's something that I really hate about films now.
Everything has to be explained.
Yeah.
Like I was honestly, when I was watching the movie, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that they just jettison Kane's fucking corpse into space. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm fucking amazed they haven't tried to fucking weave that back into a new. Maybe it's in Romulus. I don't know.
What, they find the body?
They find the body and it's somehow still in. You know what I mean? They'll fucking figure something out.
Retcon, yeah, because everything gets fucking retconned on a big enough time scale.
It's the same with Aliens. I was watching it this time. I'm like, I'm just waiting now for the fucking Disney Plus series of LV-426, and you find out what you see them building the colony.
Don't.
You see Newt born. It's gonna happen.
Oh god.
we just ruined it.
Yeah. and like the season finale, like the main character goes to the ship and finds an egg, but it like infuriates the fan base because obviously like that didn't happen until, you know, Newt's family. But they'll totally do that.
Yeah, they'll fuck it up.
Oh god.
And they'll cast Paul Reiser and de-age him.
Totally. Oh god, don't give them ideas. They might be listening.
And like Hicks's uncle will work there or something. I don't know.
Of course it will. Fucking Hicks's younger brother.
We've got the first couple episodes. Should we just write it and send it to Disney?
No.
Yeah, I was laughing though this time that like when they find the eggs and stuff, like the whole franchise rests on Kane being a clumsy son. And falling into the eggs. Yeah. So that bit in Terminator 2 where like there'd be no bother if that kid hadn't grasped on John Connor in the arcade. The tiny things.
Yeah, it's like if he had just like gone down a little bit and went, nah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, some fucking greasy looking eggs down here. I don't want to go anywhere near them.
Although I always think, like, the company, they would have had company orders. Like, if they'd gone back to the ship empty-handed, the company probably would have sent them back, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
Weyland-Yutani, they would have said, like, oh, go and retrieve a sample, probably. So they would have had to go back.
There is still that mystery of, like, I mean, I don't think they've ever explained this, right? Like, why did the company, how did the company know about that place?
That's because of David.
David?
From Prometheus.
Oh, yeah, fuck.
Sorry, I was just doing an alien fucking canon nerd thing. Because I guess that's the explanation now. That, like, David passed on his knowledge of, like, the aliens and stuff to, like, Weyland-Yutani and stuff. Because don't forget, like, Peter Weyland is in, like, Prometheus and stuff.
Yeah,
But
I forgot how much they fucking explained in that movie.
Yeah, I think I've always putting those stupid films aside, I've always kind of thought, like, maybe a passing ship had already picked up the distress signal, and like they were aware that it was, like, I don't think they necessarily knew those aliens there, like the eggs or anything, but I think they knew it wasn't like a human distress signal and that it was of alien origin. And then so they, like, diverted the Nostromo, which was, like, the closest ship to, like, go and, like, be the, you know, the expendable crew that go and see what happens, sort of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that was always what I thought was happening there.
That is what happened. Fuck Prometheus. I don't like when the retcons are like that. Not everything has to have a fucking concrete answer.
No. But yeah, it is a really good scene. It's such a creepy scene that, I mean, there's the set that they built for the space jockey is fucking insane. Like, the whole thing is, like, real, basically, which is crazy. Like, they didn't, like, matte the inside of it or anything. You know, it isn't like a bit of it is real and the rest is a matte drawing. Like, that entire internal set is like a real set.
Did they use, like, a miniature set or a smaller set for the? Because is this the film I'm thinking of where they use, like, little people for the
for the outside stuff and that? Yeah.
And you can't tell.
Yeah,
it's
and,
really
and
well
to be
done.
fair, there is one. I think there's one really wide shot of like a massive model of the thingamajig as well. The space jockey.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but they use they use the little people as well for the outside bits as well.
Yeah,
a few of the bits.
Yeah, so it all really blends though. 'Cause you can't tell.
Yeah, genius. But yeah, I've always liked though that you don't find out what the space jockey is.
No. I mean, you're in you know as much as the characters. That's what you should do with like something like that with a mystery and, like, something you've just found. Like, how the fuck would they? How would you explain to an audience what it is? They've just stumbled across it, and there's people going, "Oh, it's stupid. I don't know what it is."
Yeah.
Like, neither do they.
Like, well, now they would find a recording. It would be all clumsily done like that.
Yeah,
unfortunately, which is literally what they did in Prometheus. They found a holographic recording of shit going down. Yeah. Funny thing though about the next scene, I always in my head I always get it mixed up with Ghostbusters 2. You know when Ray goes down to the subway.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, in my head, I'm always like, is there, like, a bit where Kane's getting, like, lowered down on a cable and he's like, it's hot in here, and then he kicks something, and I'm like, does he? And I'm like, no, that's Ghostbusters. Although I think he does say it's hot as hell in here, but he doesn't kick something. But it's just like, I don't know. I guess I must have seen these movies at the same time at one point,
maybe,
something, and the memories got merged.
It's weird you say that though, because I was just watching it, like an old interview with H.R. Giger today, and like when I've never put it together before, but like his voice and his look, I'm like, why did Peter McNichol never play H.R. Giger? I'm sure Janos is based on H.R. Giger now.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's funny though. There's just like people on there's some guy, like the guy that was like working on the sets and stuff. Like he said, he got along really well with H.R. Giger and stuff, but like a lot of people, like Ridley Scott did, and the writers, but like most people on the set just found him really creepy and didn't like him. I'm like, oh, poor guy. Just like, they're like, I don't know, he's always like just dressed in black. He had really pale skin. He sounded weird.
Such a shame. It's mad though that he is like the creative sort of push for a lot of these things, like in this movie, because I think like Dan O'Bannon had the idea that, you know, that there would be like a monster on board a ship.
Oh yeah.
And it would be killing them off. And I think the early ideas was like, and I think, and I quote, but the quote is along the lines of like, the alien fucks one of them, and then they bring it on board through pregnancy. But that's kind of all they had, really, like in the heads sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it was like H.R. Giger's like concept art,
Insane
and stuff,
imagination.
and like all the stuff about like, you know, being orally raped basically
Yeah.
by
yeah.
a thingy facehugger,
Yeah.
which is fucking crazy and horrific. When you think of it in that context, which is something I never did as a kid.
Yeah,
I
me
guess I just always thought like, you know, facehugger puts an egg in you, but I never really thought about the connotations of like being violated and stuff.
You think about it, it's basically like about pregnancy through rape.
Yeah,
Essentially,
Yeah.
you know. Because I was thinking as well, like I love the thought of audiences back then, like when it came out, thinking that the facehugger was the alien of the time.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you get to the chest burster scene. That's one of those scenes that I wish I could go back and watch with an audience in 1979.
Oh yeah, and just watch their reaction. Because like moving along, I guess that bit with the chest burster, that's pretty intense for the time.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
in terms of gore and stuff.
Yeah.
And this film's not a particularly gory movie.
No.
I believe though that it was gorier in its original cut when they had like 3 hours worth of footage or whatever.
Yeah.
I think Ridley was told to like cut it down because they didn't want like a gory film, and I think test audience didn't like the gore, so they cut a shitload out. But I don't know, it really works well for the movie. That basically the only gory bit in the movie really is that bit with the chest burster.
Yeah, and it's still like a lot of it's left up to your imagination. What you see is like it's so brief. Like the actual, like you see a spurt of blood and then like it jut out like once, maybe twice, and then that's it.
Yeah. And it's the reactions, obviously. That's what sells it, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of their like genuine reactions.
Yeah. Nancy Cartwright's reaction, where she's like, Veronica Cartwright's, where she's all like, oh God.
Yeah.
Like, I always just thought, like, yeah, that feels like a very genuine reaction.
Yeah, I was watching an interview with Sigourney Weaver today, and she was retelling that story, saying like they were just too like convinced by John Hurt's acting that all their reactions were like genuine, because they knew something was going to happen, obviously, but I don't think they expected it to happen the way it did. You know what I mean? It like caught them by surprise, and like with his acting, they were just like, we just thought John was dying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he goes like red and purple and stuff.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah.
Full on method acting.
Yeah, it's such a good cast though. Like
Yeah.
everyone's perfect in the roles as well.
Yeah, and it's such a, I don't know, like with it being a small cast, you feel like the characters all really get good screen time and stuff. You spend just the right amount of time with each of the characters, and they're all really well represented.
Because of like, Sigourney Weaver wasn't the star. No one knew who Sigourney Weaver was at this point. This made her a star. So like in your head, you're like, Sigourney Weaver's the main character, but she's not. But then you think, okay, so it's Tom Skerritt technically because he's the captain, but like he's not either really. Like no one's really the main character until Ripley's on her own.
Yeah,
you know what
she
I mean?
kind of
Like,
takes over the movie later on. But yeah, everyone kind of has an equal amount of representation.
yeah,
Really.
it's like a perfect like ensemble cast type movie.
Yeah.
Like no one's really the main character, which is great because then you don't know who the fuck's gonna die.
I believe, I'm not sure how much it was ever on the table, but Harrison Ford was offered the role of Dallas at one point
Oh, was it?
and turned it down.
I saw Meryl Streep was offered Ripley at one point.
Yeah, her and Sigourney Weaver and Meryl Streep were they were buddies at like university basically.
Oh, okay.
And I think like Sigourney Weaver was like kind of interested, but was happy like Meryl Streep was going to do the role. But I think Meryl Streep dropped out because she was mourning the death of a partner or something at the time.
Yeah, was that John Cazale? I didn't
Yeah.
realise they were a thing at one point. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. I'm getting off topic a little bit, but like I'm always blown away by that guy's filmography. Like every film he was in was nominated for a Best Picture. It's
Just
insane.
some people just have the
Yeah.
knack.
Yeah, he's a cracking actor.
Yeah, but yeah, there's some cool stuff about like the interactions of the cast. Like apparently Yaphet Kotto was he was told by Ridley Scott to like do his best to annoy Sigourney Weaver like off camera, so that there was like on-screen tension.
Yeah.
And Yaphet Kotto was always quoted as saying like he really regretted that because he liked Sigourney Weaver, but she like really disliked him with a passion.
Just afterwards, you say, that was just method acting. She's like, fuck off, mate. Not interested.
But it's good. It comes over his camera like that, like relationship, that like trio between Parker, Brett, and Ripley. I don't know, it just works really well. She's busting their balls and they're busting her balls, and it's like, I don't know, it's just a really interesting dynamic between the three of them.
Yeah, I do like that bit when they're like surrounded by the steam and she just tells him to fuck off. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, as far as looking at movies and like finding identifiable characters, I think we would be Parker and Brett.
Yeah, totally.
Just stand around moaning about everybody.
Yeah. Being able to fix things, but not like fully fixing them, so that the perception is we're useful and needed.
Yeah, we're just like, that's good enough.
It'll break down again probably tomorrow, but we'll just fix it. And they won't get rid of her. And we're always worrying about overtime and pay and stuff.
Yeah, and the food shite. I was looking at like the top 10 of 79. So I thought obviously this film was a hit, but I was curious to where it like landed in the year. And like the top 10 is, as always, when you go back and look at top 10s from the 80s and 70s, 80s, 90s, like, the top 10 is insane.
Yeah.
Just listen to this variety. 10, The Muppet Movie. 9, Moonraker. 8, The Jerk. 7, the movie 10 with Dudley Moore. 6 was Alien. 5, Star Trek the Motion Picture, made more than Alien.
Nice.
4, Apocalypse Now. 3, Rocky 2. 2, The Amityville Horror, and 1, Kramer versus Kramer. Back when a film about people getting divorced could make 106 million.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, just the variety though. And like, what a year though. Amityville, Rocky 2, Apocalypse Now, Star Trek, Alien, Moonraker.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when you kind of come forward to now and it's like superhero movies and stuff.
If that, now.
Well, yeah, thankfully they're on the way out finally.
Yeah. But yeah, Alien made 80 million. And that's just US. It made like over 100 worldwide, but 80 in the US.
Yeah, and it cost something like 8 million or something, or was it more than that? I can't remember.
think it was around 10, maybe something like that, I think, yeah.
And it's such a great movie.
It's awesome, yeah.
Like, Ridley Scott, he's not my most favourite director these days, unfortunately. But he knows how to point a camera, like.
He had a
like,
run, man,
goddamn.
like from Alien to Blade Runner to like even like Legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just as far as like a visual fucking feast. I'm not a huge fan of the movie, but like visually, it's stunning. That film.
Even like, with Prometheus, for all, like, I don't like the story and stuff really. Like, you can't knock it for its visuals and stuff. It looks crazy.
No, yeah.
So yeah, he still does know how to, like, I think it's just one of them old school guys that like knows what length of like shot and what focal settings and what lens. He's very much about the technology of filmmaking and stuff.
Yeah, his films always just look like $1 million.
Yeah.
Like that, like light. Like I've always loved the lighting in Ridley Scott movies.
Yeah,
as well.
that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh, we did forget to mention though. We should mention it. The Spaceballs parody, if we were talking about it, because it's one of the best things ever.
Yeah, credit for John Hurt actually like coming back and doing the scene again and having a good laugh with it.
Like, I wonder if they like had to convince him, or if he was like, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to know.
Yeah, it's so well done. Just the fact that you see the alien chest burst at first, and then just the hat comes in slowly, like from off camera.
It's the growling, and then just the little head tilt and the hat coming on, and fucking so funny.
And they essentially use pretty much the same gag, where it's like a little, like latex or rubber creature, but like on a track.
Yeah.
And then like just pull it through the table. It's like
whilst doing the can, basically
just reuse the prop almost.
Yeah.
Genius.
So what are some main highlights for you?
Yeah, there's so many really. I think obviously the pure adrenaline of like the end basically is always crazy. Where when she goes back for the cat, I guess. Yeah. Which is always like a horrible sort of like anxiety turned up to 11 sort of thing.
Like, I always forget as well how many jump scares are in the movie. I never think it's a jumpy movie, but it's fucking like 20 jump scares, and they all work really well as well.
Yeah. Many of them based around Jonesy the cat and stuff. When he's in the locker and stuff, and the let him go. So yeah, like the pure anxiety. I think just the start, the credits, and like that whole like the quiet and the peace before the storm.
The slow build up.
Yeah. But like obviously the tunnels bit with Dallas is like
that's first on mine. Dallas and the vents. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such an iconic thing, and I think it like defined science fiction horror stuff like that.
Oh,
For
yeah.
many years afterwards, like being hunted by something and people being powerless to like do anything about it and stuff.
And it almost feels like it's going to go on longer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It feels like they're going to really draw it out, and it seems to be over before. Like, it takes you by surprise.
Yeah.
The alien just being behind him the whole time.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. And Ash's freak out.
Well, I was going to
freak me
say,
out as well. Yeah.
because this is how do you like list highlights about this movie? Because like Ian Holm is like a highlight
Oh,
of
yeah.
the movie just from start to finish.
Yeah, he plays it so well. Like he's like when you watch it now, you know what's coming. He's so subtle and like there's something up with him.
Yeah, fucking drinking milk and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like the foreshadowing that they do early in
Yeah.
the movie. But yeah, just his like facial tics when he finally like loses it and.
Yeah, and the weird giggling and high pitched squeals
Yeah.
he does. It's trying to suffocate her by just jamming a rolled up magazine in her mouth.
Which again is like, sexual undertones
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like something being forced into your mouth and stuff.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah. But yeah, the cast are just superb. There isn't
Yeah.
like a weak one
No.
amongst them basically,
No.
which is crazy.
A special mention also must go to Ripley's tiny underpants.
Yes.
Apparently, in the future, underpants are just going to get
I
tiny.
always wonder about that. I was always sad when I watched the movie with the director's commentary and stuff. From memory, I don't think they like massively comment on the underwear, apart from maybe it's just joke about it. But I always wanted to know like why though.
Why that small?
Why that small? Was it like a fuck up by the prop department, or was it
I
like
think
a
what it-
deliberate attempt at sexiness? I don't
I
know.
think what it is really is just like they've rolled down a little bit when she's taking her suit off.
Yeah.
So they just look tiny. And plus, Sigourney Weaver's like really tall and slender.
Yeah,
so,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing about that scene though is that obviously they eventually got it green lit and stuff, but it was Sigourney Weaver's like idea to sing that little song like
Oh, yeah.
during like when she's getting suited up and she's trying to keep herself calm.
Yeah, that's a really cool moment. And that, yeah.
But
Sorry,
that,
go on.
I was just gonna say that ended up like costing studio like quite a bit of money to get the
Classic.
rights.
Yeah. Yeah, people just need to do what fucking Nick Cage did on Face Off and just make something up on the spot.
yeah.
And afterwards, they were like, what was that song? Well, I've checked the rights. He said, I don't know, I just made it up.
So, champion.
Also, we've got to mention, like, I love a good trailer. And the original trailer for Alien's one of the best trailers ever.
Yeah, because it doesn't fucking give the movie away.
It's basically just a minute and a half of fucking anxiety.
Yeah, like strobes, weird camera angle, weird camera like noises.
Weird noises, yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah. The only thing that always confused us, though, like, I know it's like, trailers are obviously shot like that. All that stuff might have been shot as like a test or like way earlier, but like the egg in it is not the egg from the movie and it like cracks like a
Yeah.
normal egg.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I think some of that was probably just like studio interference, probably.
I think it just seems to me like early concept test
Yeah.
ideas, and they've just banged it in the trailer, so not to waste it. Maybe.
I think one thing that definitely happened was they didn't show the alien to anyone, basically. So
no, that's what I mean. Like people going in thinking, "Oh, the alien's the facehugger, is this?"
because I think even like potentially like the like Dan O'Bannon and stuff, and like people that wrote like the novelization of the movie and stuff, like they weren't shown any of the like production stuff.
Who is that guy that wrote the novelization? Because he wrote fuckloads. Like Alan Foster.
Yeah.
Alan Dean Foster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they were really secretive. There wasn't any promos put out of the monster. There wasn't anything.
I want to read the fucking novelization. Alan Dean Foster's just like, "Oh, it's scary.
Yeah.
Big.
Big and monster like.
It's alien-esque."
I think what's really unique about, like, just because we're talking about the alien, though, thinking about it, I want to mention is H.R. Giger's insistence that it didn't have eyes, which I think is like such an underrated contribution to the movie. Where I think it just wouldn't have worked with eyes, and I think the fact that the xenomorph doesn't have eyes kind of makes it fucking creepier. Like,
Yeah.
it tracks you by sight, sound, and like echolocation or something.
Scent, probably.
Yeah, and it just makes it way, way more lethal and like less relatable as well that it hasn't got eyes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just such a great concept, and no surprise that, I mean, let's face it, the Aliens franchise has been like coasting pretty much just off how creepy and creative the like alien creature is, basically.
Yeah.
It's such a like crazy concept. So yeah, credit to Balaji Badejo. Like
Yeah, just
only.
some unknown guy.
Yeah, never worked in a film
No.
again after this.
No, apparently really quiet, reserved, didn't like all the attention, and was just like, I don't want to be an actor. I think he opened like an art gallery. I read
Yeah.
before he died.
Because I think, like, the way he plays it, like, all slow and serene and like, creepily, it's, again, like, it could have been so easy to just be a man in a rubber suit.
Yeah, well, I will say, like, you can kind of see when you see like the deleted footage and stuff, especially like the extended like Lambert death and stuff. Like when you see too much of it, it does look like a kind of
Yeah,
suit.
yeah.
They've edited around it in a way where you think you don't see that much of it really.
No.
When you think probably like, I don't know, overall maybe like less than 2 minutes
Yeah,
it's on the screen,
yeah, probably.
maybe.
Yeah, just flashes, isn't it? And stuff
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, we should probably just before we wrap up talk about like deleted scenes and alternate versions, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I did just. I know we said we were going to watch director's cuts, but I did just watch the theatrical ones because I was watching them at my computer on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
and they don't have the special editions. But.
Yeah, which is fine because I mean, obviously the director's cut firstly is like slightly shorter than the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
It's only 47 seconds shorter.
He just cut out like I was reading up on it today because I've never actually seen that version before. I've never watched it, but like he's just chopped scenes that like. What's funny, he said at the time he chopped them like 15 seconds off the end of scenes because they just thought they dragged. But he also said later that it was all just marketing ploy bollocks. Like
Yeah.
he said the film's solid. I don't really have a problem with it. That
Yeah,
we
they
just did that sell fucking copies.
Wanted a
basically.
director's cut. Yeah,
So I think because it was like a 25th anniversary version that wasn't it or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the only like actual thing that that added a bit where I think Lambert like slaps Ripley after the like locking her out sort of bit. There's like a few split seconds more of like Brett dying. It's like a slightly different take.
I think they run in afterwards and actually see him get pulled up. Is that in?
Yeah, it's a quick flash of the legs and stuff. The one thing that never surfaced, and I don't know if it was ever, I think it was shot, but I don't think anyone's ever seen the footage, is the facehugger starts to decompose and it's like burning through the floor and they like have to get rid of it.
Okay.
And they like jettison it out of the ship or something. Yeah, and there's more talk about like acid for blood and things. But obviously the big deleted scene that was re-included for the director's cut is the finding Dallas again during the closing moments of the movie. What is like morphed, the egg morphing scene, as people.
Yeah, because that was the original. That was like Giga's original intention, wasn't it? Like the alien takes them and they morph. The humans morph into an egg.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. Which in some ways is like it's kind of a creepier, more fucked up.
I mean, it's
life cycle.
Terrifying.
Yeah, like the egg makes a facehugger that impregnates you. An alien chestburster then grows up and grabs people and turns them into more eggs. It's kind of
Circle of life, as Elton John said.
totally. But as a fan of the movie and stuff, I do think like it kind of hurts the pacing of the movie, the whole egg morphing scene.
I mean, how much does it show? Do they really like go into like that he's going to turn into an egg? Because I was just thinking like putting that in the movie, it would like change the law, considering it's like it's not a bootleg, so it'd be an official release version. Then if someone watched that first and watched Aliens, they'd be like, "What?"
I think people have always tried to like explain that both is correct. So the preference in the xenomorph hierarchy is that there's an alien queen that lays eggs and sets up a hive, but if the opportunity isn't there to set up a hive and have an alien queen, then they rely on egg morphing as a form of reproduction.
like an emergency backup plan.
So, which works.
Yeah.
And I think that where you see the most morphy sort of stuff in the movie is Brett is kind of like 70% on the way to being an egg in the scene. Dallas is kind of like, he's just kind of like up in the, gunked to the wall pretty much. But it's Brett that's like way on his way to becoming an egg. But yeah, it just kind of, it's interesting, but the movie kind of pauses for 3 minutes. Like it's like, it's before and after it, it's like Ripley shitting herself running around the corridor sweating buckets. And
you can see why they got rid of it.
It just hurts the pacing a little bit.
But
still fascinating. Sort of. Alien was one of them early movies that I enjoyed on DVD. The new technology of DVD. And it was a really good DVD. Alien. And obviously that it had like the deleted scenes and the egg morph, and it felt like I was getting a peek into something like that. You know, you read about these deleted scenes in books and stuff, you know, and then like to actually see the deleted scene was fucked up.
Yeah, because I do remember that was one of the big deleted scenes we used to talk about. Like, you remember you telling us, like, you know, there's a scene in like the cutout of Alien where like he's like turned into a fucking egg. And I was like, what? But then again, you know, we would have seen it earlier if we had Laserdiscs. But,
True, yeah.
We were like 12.
No, yeah, we weren't going to have Laserdiscs.
We didn't have £900 lying around to buy a Laserdisc player.
Totally.
But yeah, it's like that, and like, you know, like deleted footage from The Thing would read about and stuff, and you know, and then of course you see it all now.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame, really, that some like they can't recapture that excitement and magic of like early days DVDs.
I know. Yeah.
With all the special features and deleted scenes.
Speaking of which, as for like home media, well, obviously Alien, like you were saying, the DVD was cracking back in the day, so it's always been well represented, as you'd expect. But so you got the 40th anniversary 4K, which has both cuts on it, deleted scenes, and the commentaries. But I think for extras, the best release still seems to be the old anthology box set, the Blu-ray, or the 9-disc set, which has Prometheus, and I think it's called Prometheus to Alien or something like that. Which has all the same extras, but it has Prometheus in there as well. So take your pick. Did you ever get the 4K of Alien?
I did, yeah. So Alien and Aliens, I own them about like 10 times at this point.
I can imagine. Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
I got like the DVDs, still got my VHSs upstairs. I've got like the quadrology, the anthology, the set that they released when Prometheus came out. I'm a sucker for Aliens, like basically.
Well, you know. Favorite movie in it.
So yeah, the 4K is really good. It looks amazing in 4K.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Because it doesn't have James Cameron fucking going in there and going, put some AI on it, make it look less like film.
It does not look like AI, thankfully.
Good. So what about other stuff like art and merchandise?
Merchandise. So as you can imagine, there's an absolute shit ton of stuff.
There's a shed load.
I don't propose going through. I've uploaded like a ton of art.
There's like fucking 86 pieces of art. Yeah.
It's just one of those movies where, because it's such a visual movie and stuff.
Oh yeah,
it translates well to the canvas, I guess. Some highlights though for Alien would be there's a piece by I've always liked the idea of it. Chris Kohler. It's like the dark blue one with the alien in the wall.
Oh yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, because that's one of my favorite bits in the film. Actually, I meant to mention that in my highlights. It's terrible.
Yeah, just the fact that it's there in the background, and then
you can hear it breathing for like a good solid 30 seconds before you see it.
Yeah, you think it's like machinery noises or something, but it's not. Yeah, something about the art, the clean lines and stuff, and the alien's done really well in the art.
Yeah, that's very nice.
I like the gabs though as well. So the grey one with Ripley's face.
Yeah. That feels more like an H.R. Giger painting or something.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what they were going for, like a mix between the concepts. Really, really cool. And then lastly, I always kind of liked it, the moodiness that Carl Fitzgerald's Alien. I love the the really dark one with the alien just kind of stalking. And then Jones is in the picture.
Yeah.
It's like an unseen moment from the movie.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But I just don't know. It looks like a crazy oil painting from somebody's nightmare, basically.
It does, yeah. It's the alien looking at the cat like, what's that?
Like, what the fuck? Which obviously is like something that does happen later in the movie when the alien kind of looks, well, doesn't look because it hasn't got eyes, but kind of that shot where it draws level to the cat box. It's like, what the fuck? I always like to think it's like, what on earth are you?
Where are you from?
But yeah, other than that, I didn't want to go too much further because there's so much art. There were alien toys at the time, weren't there, in the 70s?
That's when I first saw that, like, I don't know, 15 years ago online, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like someone had made it and like made a fake ad for an alien. Because I was saying, why the fuck would they release an alien toy for kids?
Yeah.
But then it's real, obviously.
Yeah.
But then you see like footage from like when it first came out, like news crews interviewing people coming out, and people were like taking the kids and shit. So
yeah, well, it was the 70s. It was, things weren't rated back then as they are now, I guess.
Well, it's just that like if it was R, you can still see an R-rated movie, no matter how old you are, as long as you've got like a parent with you.
Yeah.
So they're just like, hey, Timmy, let's go see that new sci-fi movie. I'm going to scar you for life.
Really like fucking deep emotional problems after seeing the movie.
I'm sure there's some of them though where like the kids are like, was it scary? You say, yeah, I guess. Hardcore.
obviously they did try, I guess, to appeal to kids because there was like video games at the time and stuff. So there was that attempt at appealing to kids.
Well, like an arcade game.
Yeah, so the only one that I kind of wanted to show you, I'll just send it on Skype, the image, where it was Alien for the Atari 2600. Seems to be a really original concept. Just
Pac-Man, basically.
Pac-Man, but aliens.
That's kind of genius, really.
And you're just running away from the alien, basically.
Kind of want it. Kind of want to play it. I like Pac-Man.
Yeah, I was thinking, well, I'll have to like get a few of these games.
Oh, yeah.
And like we'll have a play of them and do like a video like we've done previously.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, yeah, we'll definitely have to do but like a whole series of just at least one video of the Alien games because, you know, there's like that Aliens arcade we used to play.
Yeah.
There's Alien 3 on the SNES and stuff like that.
And there's, I've never played it, but there's an Alien game on it came out on the Commodore 64, Amstrad, and Spectrum and stuff at the time.
Oh, okay.
So it was released in 84. Because, yeah, obviously Alien, it's always Aliens and Predator and stuff that gets the video games. Alien, not so much. But as we mentioned at the head of the review, there is Alien Isolation from 2014.
Which is, you know, links to this because you're playing as Ripley's daughter.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's like a really, really good idea. I think it, you know, it takes what's established in the movies, certainly the director's cut of Aliens and stuff, that's just got a daughter and stuff. Yeah. And, you know, she would, as a sort of young adult, she probably would want to investigate what happened to her mum and get to the bottom of it and stuff. And,
yeah, definitely.
So it's,
and it replicates like the fucking panic and fear and anxiety of the first movie perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fucking grueling. I've somehow managed to complete it twice. I don't know how, because it's a terrifying experience.
It's like I played about 20 minutes of it in VR with the mod, and I was just like, oh no, I cannot play it anymore. It's just too much.
Like it's bad enough playing it with headphones on, and every time you hear like a clink, 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 you're like fuck, you just get in the cupboard and hide for like half an hour.
Yeah, it was far too much. And like I congratulate anyone that finishes that game in VR, basically.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's hard enough just like playing it normally. Yeah.
Champion Cinema.
So we had to wait 7 years for a sequel in 1986. Aliens came with a runtime of 2 hours and 17 minutes for the theatrical version.
Yeah.
Or I'll specifically mention the runtime because I think it's probably fair to say at this point the director's cut has kind of overtaken as the accepted cut of the movie.
Yeah, it does seem like, because I mean, for a
much.
while it seemed like that was the main version you could get on video.
Yeah.
And then DVD.
But yeah, 2 hours and 34 minutes is the runtime of the director's cut, which by all accounts was his actual original like intention, James Cameron, to have it be 2 hours 34 minutes.
Yeah.
But obviously the studio wanted it to be, you know, not an insane length.
A little bit punchy. Yeah.
Which is mad to think that nowadays movies are, you know, quite happily.
I want to go back in time and get them fucking executives to get them to run a studio now.
Totally. But anyway, as stated, directed by James Cameron.
Jimmy.
Starring Sigourney Weaver, of course, as Ripley. Michael Biehn as Corporal Hicks. Carrie Henn in her acting debut as Newt.
Yeah.
Paul Reiser as the Little Weasel Bird.
The legendary Paul Reiser.
Lance Henriksen as Bishop.
Right.
Bill Paxton as Private Hudson. William Hope as Lieutenant Gorman. Jeanette Goldstein as Private Vasquez. Al Matthews as Sergeant Apone. And last but not least, Mark Ralston as Private Drake. So, what's it about?
Well, after floating through space for 57 years, Ellen Ripley heads back to LV-426 along with a troop of Marines to investigate what happened to colonists after they've lost contact with them. The clues in the title, aliens are there. There's aliens.
I like that story that James Cameron pitched the movie by just writing alien on a board. Then he wrote an S, and then he put lines in through it to make it a dollar sign. And then just like mic dropped.
And then he was like, boom, gives money.
Such a good idea.
It's mad though. I was just brushing up on like the build up to the movie and stuff. And it's mad that he was like writing it and coming up with it before, like while he was shooting Terminator and before Terminator. Like it was in the running for a while, yeah.
Yeah. So like Terminator got put on hiatus because I think Arnie was doing reshoots for Conan
the Destroyer, yeah.
So yeah, he just used the time to, I think he wrote like 90 pages of the script basically. So it wasn't like a completed script, but he pretty much had it fleshed out. But yeah, and obviously it goes towards that famous story about how much of a rough time he had with making this movie, because he was kind of an unknown director basically, or at least he was in the eyes of the people helping make the Aliens movie.
Well, yeah, he made fucking like Piranha 2 and got fired, and then made Terminator, which was a hit. Put his name out there.
Yeah, and like people often quote that like Terminator wasn't out in the UK, but it was, because it came out in '85, didn't it? Terminator.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think it was just one of the movies that not a shitload of people saw straight away.
No, I've always thought with Terminator, it made money. It was like successful, but like I always think it's one of those movies that was like did well at the time. People liked it, but its reputation grew on video. I always thought with Terminator.
Yeah, exactly. Like afterwards.
Yeah,
definitely. So yeah, he was very much just a young guy at this point and untested in many people's eyes.
I mean, just before we get into the film, I mean, we'll love a tenuous link on this show. So second themed month with the film with Lance Henriksen in it. So
yes.
Point for that.
Yeah.
And going back to last week's show, James Remar, who we talked about the Quest, was the original Hicks before he got fired.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, he is apparently in one scene when it's like from his back.
It's in the hive, isn't it?
When they're going in the hive. It's like the only bit that retained. Allegedly. But I think it is kind of documented that it was down to like drinking.
Drugs I've seen him like quotes from him saying like he fucked up and he regretted it.
Yeah. He was a bit of a tit basically, and they couldn't work with him sadly at the time.
So yeah, lucky Michael Biehn though gets like one of his most iconic roles. This along with like Kyle Reese, two of his most iconic roles. It's like we've said this before, I'm sure, but like it's fucking insane that Michael Biehn wasn't a bigger star.
Yeah. Considering like these two movies like should have launched his career.
Yeah,
into the stratosphere.
He had the look, he had the charisma, he had the acting chops. He looked good with a gun, and it was the 80s after all. He looked good with a gun. It's just bizarre, like that it just didn't work out. I mean, he was in some great movies like this, Tombstone.
Yeah, The Abyss, all that sort of stuff. Even like stuff like The Rock and stuff like that. And not necessarily one of my favourite movies, but he's great in it. I'm surprised we never got like Michael Biehn is detective such a body, and he's like a burnt out police officer or something.
Yeah, if they were going to do a proper Max Payne movie, he's a guy I would have suggested to be like burnt out Max Payne.
Yeah, definitely.
Not Mark fucking Wahlberg.
Of all people.
Like who the fuck played that game, or at least was shown footage of that game? I'm thinking Mark Wahlberg.
Well, as these films always get made, they had another script and they just went, slap that on it. Yeah. Fucking done.
Either that or they go, okay. And it's like, so who do you think is suitable? Is it fucking talking about suitable? Who's more bankable?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Who do I owe money to or favours to?
Yeah.
Or who has information on us being fucking sex pests? All that sort of stuff.
Just gets out his book and he's like, who do I owe for? Who did I say I'll owe you one to?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people here.
Who did I get my dick out to while eating shrimp and stuff?
It's a very specific reference there. You get it? Very well done.
But yeah, well, what a back to the movie.
Back to the movie.
I suppose the mad thing, and obviously I limited myself, even though it was quite a list. I did 10 people from the cast there when I introduced the movie. But it's such a, compared to Alien, it's got such a bigger, much bigger cast. It's crazy, really. I mean, all the Marines obviously is like a big thing, but even just some of the, like the scenes at the start with the panel, the people that are like the hearing and stuff.
Yeah, like the boardroom type.
Yeah. There's just so many more people in this movie. I think that's what's striking between like Alien and Aliens, that like Aliens like literally like what, 7 people or something, or 6
and
people.
like 7 people in 2 locations. That's it.
Yeah. But Aliens is like such a big undertaking in terms of like logistics and cast and locations and stuff.
And it's just it's the right way to do a sequel as well. Like there's familiar beats and stuff, but it's a continuation. It's not just let's just do the same thing again.
Yeah.
It's like it's how all sequels, and I know rightfully so, people use this in like other films like Godfather 2 was like the template for a good sequel.
Yeah, because it is, to be fair to it, it's like this Godfather, Empire Strikes Back. Like easily one of the best sequels of all time, basically. Easily.
That's not even like up for debate that it is definitely one of the best sequels ever.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I love the cast. I think they're all really well put together all the different people, like even like just Vasquez, like done really well. Jeanette Goldstein, like the way they made her out to be like this muscular, like
Latina.
yeah, like tough Latina. I mean, yeah, problematic, I guess, these days.
Yeah.
The fact that they're like, you know, they put literally brown makeup on her and
Yeah.
made her Latina.
I mean, if this is worth anything, like growing up, I thought that's just how she was.
Yeah,
Because she was believable.
I just thought she had a dark complexion.
Yeah.
I never really thought about
Yeah.
like origins or like that. But she's done really well. I think like the relationship between her and Drake is done really well. You really get a small taste of it, but it's enough. There's enough there that you know that they're like obviously friends, kind of like probably gone through shit.
Potentially, they hook up now and then.
Yeah,
Potentially.
potentially friends with benefits.
Yeah. I will say though,
Yeah.
controversial. The older I get, the more I find some of the early Marine bicker and banter annoying.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was like, shut up. Just get to the fucking aliens.
Get with it. Silly man.
But I get it though, because it's just fucking patter, isn't it?
It's
Because like
yeah.
it almost comes across at first like, oh, these really don't like each other that much. They're always taking the piss, Bully and Hudson. But once they're all on the dropship, they're all like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
let's get to it. Really, what's going on is it's just Vietnam.
Oh god,
It's
yes, yeah.
Vietnam in space,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
So the American soldiers are all like, "We're gonna go in and we're gonna kick some ass."
Yeah.
And the Vietnam won't know what's gonna hit them. The
Yeah.
VC. And then they get there and they're like, "Fuck," and so that's very much like what this movie represents, basically.
Yeah, America in the 80s loved its Vietnam metaphors for movies, didn't it?
Yeah. It's so apparent like in the movie. I think it's really cool that obviously Apone, Al Matthews was like a real sergeant in Vietnam.
You can tell as well. You can tell
Yeah.
the way he like carries himself. Yeah,
Yeah,
And he's got
definitely.
one of my favorite. It's such a small bit, but it's one of my favorite bits of the movie where like he dismisses them, then he just quickly goes, "Hudson, come here, come here."
He's sick of his shit, basically. Yeah, I think it's really nice that apparently, so that those scenes they were shot last. Basically, all those scenes of them like waking up to the dropship was all done last, so that like they could all like kind of get accustomed with one another, and you could feel the like camaraderie and stuff.
Well, that's one of the things that like I felt bad for Michael Biehn because like they all went on a big boot camp, didn't they?
But yeah, I was
to
going to say
bond.
that too. Yeah, they did, and like, but they didn't send William Hope, who plays Lieutenant Gorman.
Oh, that makes sense.
They didn't send him, so he was like the outsider.
Yeah,
and
it makes
stuff.
sense. Yeah.
And just all these like little things that they did to like really like enforce the like camaraderie
Yeah.
between the actors.
Yeah.
Really comes across on camera.
Because there's like a lot of stuff. They got to like customize the armor and stuff, didn't
Yeah.
they? So it was all to their like unique to their character,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
Michael Biehn couldn't. So like what his heart with his locket on it is just something that James Remar put on there. I think
Exactly.
probably for his girlfriend.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, it's such a shame. Bless him.
We met Michael Biehn a couple of years. Well, fuck, probably like 8 years ago now. When was it? 2016 or something.
Yeah, nearly 10 years soon.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, it was a highlight for me.
Yeah, you
meeting Michael Biehn.
practically sucked him off.
I was like one of the first people in the queue because I think obviously we had like the VIP passes.
Oh yeah, well, big deal. That.
Totally. And I just beelined for his table, so
Yeah.
I might have been like second or third. Maybe
You were pretty
for the
because we
day.
went pretty early, yeah, like you
Yeah.
said. And I think you were probably just at least the most a handful of people. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
one of the early first people he met that day. And like me and Stacey were just hanging back, like I hope you didn't say anything awkward like you did the rope god.
Yeah, like low key insulting him and stuff.
Yeah, and like you came back and I was like, how was it? You were like, I just basically just told him I loved him.
Which I did. I was like, oh, I fucking love you, and Aliens, and Terminator, and like, oh my god, I just went on this massive rant. Seemed like a very cool guy.
Oh yeah, well we got a picture with him, and he just seemed very nice and laid
Yeah,
back.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and still the highlight of another highlight of that was when you were telling Stacey like what we asked him, what we said to him and stuff, and you said like, "Hey, you been busy? You busy, mate?" Stacey was like, "What? Like he's a fucking taxi driver?"
Just all British patter, basically.
Oh, you do, mate? Busy? Busy? Aye.
What time do you get off? Yeah.
I still maintain, though, I think you made a very good impression on him that day because when we went to pick our photos up, he looks like we look like he's hard mates in that picture. He's like, beaming. Everyone else he's doing this photo smoke with him. He's like, "My fucking best pals."
Yeah, I like to think I made an impression just because of the amount of gushing.
Yeah.
And because it was right at the start of the day.
I've got to remember as well. Around that time was when there was talk of Neil Blomkamp doing it like a sort of sequel to Aliens, when it was going to get Michael back, fucking Sigourney Weaver, and you were asking him about that and stuff, weren't you?
Yeah, the film we never got to.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, somebody else that's really awesome in this movie, and like the movie couldn't exist without him, is aforementioned Lance Henriksen.
Oh yeah, Lance Henriksen's awesome. He's I think Bishop is just one of my highlights of the movie, pretty much.
So good. I think there's a great story about how the shot they were planning on shooting the scene in the infirmary when he's operating on the facehugger. And Lance Henriksen said like, "Oh, I think like it would really work well if I wear like contact lenses that have really like big pupils, so that I look a bit strange."
Yeah.
And Cameron was open to it. He was like, "Yeah, no, that sounds good." He said, "Well, we'll like block it out and we'll film it and we'll like get like the framing done, and then we'll like do the scene again with the contacts." And they did it without the contacts, and James Cameron was like, "Honestly, you were just creepy.
Yeah,
you don't need contact lenses.
You don't need makeup to be creepy, Lance. I'm sorry, I know that might sound harsh, but
it's just such a good performance that it's so weird, and it is weird. That scene's weird.
Yeah,
it's
it's just kind of setting up like, oh shit, is he going to go fucking mental like Ash? But no, he's the good android.
Yeah, it's a nice bait and switch, and I just think it's such a good performance that like it's just these mannerisms and general behavior, but it's like so like underdone. That's really good, I bet.
Yeah. One of my highlights of the movie is the little bit at the end when he like has a heroic moment and like saves Newt. I always love that bit. Yeah,
definitely.
Split in half and still manages to save someone.
Still being a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the score a little bit though, Mr. James Horner, who didn't have a great time working on the movie.
Was it like 3 weeks or something?
It was. He was originally had 6 weeks to write and record the music. That got cut down to fucking 2 because of like the production going a bit mad. And then Cameron constantly asking him for changes and stuff, and the time constraints led to them falling out until Titanic, I read.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned this last time we talked about the movies. Like I've read before that Horner's not happy with his score because to him it's not finished, it's not complete. Yeah. And something I didn't know, there's a piece of music that was written for the movie that's not in the finished film, but you can find it on the soundtrack. It's called like Resolution in Hyperspace. It must be for the alien. Yeah. It's in Die Hard.
Just reused it.
It's the moment where Al shoots Carl at the end. That triumphant music. That's from fucking Aliens.
Yeah, well, it makes sense actually thinking about it. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I've always thought that music in Die Hard sounded off. Like it doesn't sound like Michael Caine's score.
It does kind of stand out, doesn't it? Yeah.
So that's just never knew that until I read about it today.
It's one of the main reasons why the movie didn't get apparently screeners that much. Like I think the movie just went straight to theaters with like like probably limited like. Showing it to like execs and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was right down to the wire. Yeah, it was one of those movies.
Because like the score ultimately wasn't available till right at the very end. They just slapped it straight on.
Yeah, I think it's one of those movies that were like editing it a week before it came out, like one of those kind of movies.
Yeah, crazy.
Let's talk about the special edition though.
Yeah.
I prefer the theatrical version, but I think a mix of the two, there's a perfect version for me. Yeah, I know you kind of disagree because we were talking about it the other night. Like, what do you like and dislike about the scenes in the special edition, if anything? Yeah,
so it's easy to forget how many scenes there are. There's 18 extra scenes put in, 17 minutes, just under 17 minutes. I do agree that it hurts the movie seeing the colony and stuff.
Yeah.
I think the mystery of like, they just get the call. We've lost contact with the colony in LV-426. That's like a much better sort of like bit for the movie than seeing them and seeing Newt's family and then seeing Newt's family with the facehugger, all that sort of stuff. It's like, I think everything else though I'll probably keep, to be fair.
Me too.
Although I will say, and I was saying it the other night, like some of the daughter stuff, I think pacing-wise probably like... I get that it's a good reason why Ripley would want to go and save Newt because she's already lost a daughter.
Yeah.
She's not, but I think like you don't need that justification. Like Ripley's just a good person, and this is young sweet girl that's been to fucking hell and back, and she's not going to abandon her because she promised her that she wouldn't.
Not true. I don't think you
So-
necessarily need it, but I do think it gives Ripley's character more of an arc.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
she's lost her daughter through no fault of her own. She's lost her parents because of the fucking aliens.
Yeah.
So it does add some more dramatic
Yeah.
weight to it and stuff. You know, that bit at the end where she calls her mommy and stuff's very
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah.
I guess maybe if they'd just done it, they could have maybe just done it like in a different way. The whole daughter thing, like maybe it was like dialogue in the dropship on the way down or something, or
Yeah.
you know, like a quicker sort of scene.
Well, let's just be thankful that, like, Ridley Scott and James Cameron aren't like fucking George Lucas and they didn't go back to Alien and had some scene where Ripley's like CGI mouth going, oh my God, my daughter's birthday, I'm going to miss this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, they're just going to do that. They're going to like film a fucking scene at the start
Yeah.
where like the daughter's on Earth opening like birthday presents or something. Where is mommy? And you're like, oh. But yeah, everything else about the special edition's really cool. Like the automated guns and stuff.
Yeah, I always like that bit because it just adds even more tension. Like, they're running out of ideas. Yeah.
Although Alien purists hate that scene because it's like, you know, the aliens are just chucking themselves at guns and dying. And also, like, how many aliens are there? Like, if you do the maths, the movie gets a bit problematic. Because I think there's supposed to be something... There's a finite amount. There's something like 140 colonists. The number's mentioned in the movie. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's mentioned. And you can, like, count out how many aliens died in the movie, and it gets problematic.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
Yeah.
But that's been like super anal about
Yeah.
it, to be fair.
But as a scene, it's good.
I like the Hudson bragging about all the weaponry and stuff. The electronic ball breakers. and all
Oh,
that
yeah, I
stuff.
remember that bit. Yeah.
Because that's not in the theatrical version.
No.
I'm trying to think, there's only like, there's some weird stuff that he cut out, like Ripley hesitating for a moment when she's just about to enter the complex. They like cut a small little shot of her like looking and going, do I want to do this?
Yeah, well,
And they just cut that out.
yeah, it makes sense. She would be a bit apprehensive.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, there's just like little slices cut here and there as well from
Yeah.
but yeah, for me though, I guess the theatrical cut is the ultimate cut for me at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Sorry, the special edition, I should say.
Yeah, it's the one you're most familiar with, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like I said, my main problem with the special editions always just been seeing LV-426 before they get there. It's just way more dramatic and like builds more tension if you don't know what the
Yeah,
fuck they're
true.
walking into.
No, it's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's obviously there's going to be aliens there. The movie's called Aliens. But,
Yeah,
you know,
they get there and they're like, it's just a antenna. It blew down. Sorry. And they're like, "Oh, look."
credits. Yeah, I was thinking there this time, they're like watching it with, because I mean, it's kind of obvious, but you can see like aliens' influence on the Thing.
Yeah,
And then I went back to read up. I was like, am I right in thinking this? And yeah, like basically the thing that got the thing off the ground was the success of Alien. Like,
Yeah.
oh, adult sci-fi is going to be big again. Let's do
Yeah.
that thing we've been trying to do for 5 years. But then watching Aliens, I honestly think you can see the Thing's influence on Aliens. Like the bit where they're going through the abandoned colony. Just reminds us of the Norwegian scene.
Yeah, true.
I've never put that together before though.
yeah, true. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All that stuff's really great. The set, the ruined like Hadley's Hope and stuff.
yeah.
The aftermath and things, really, really great. They
yeah.
nailed the set with that stuff. Like,
And the always effective jump scare of the facehugger in the jar come back to life and stuff.
yeah,
It always gets you.
the love at first sight.
Yeah.
Favorite scenes then? What would you say is? I mean, I think I can probably come up with one. But what is your favorite scene?
Well, I mean, like the chest burster scene, because it scarred me as a child. That's another time I walked into the room right as she started shouting, "Kill me!" And I was like, "What are you watching?" Oh my god! The aliens in the roof always freaks us out.
Yeah.
It's just the way they're just all crawling like cockroaches and they're
Yeah,
fucking horrible.
The way they're lit and the music sting. Yeah, and then you're like, oh god.
Yeah. But I mean, like the whole finale with the Queen is awesome. I love that, like, once she gets in the loader, she's like past the point of being scared and she's just pissed off at that point.
Yeah. It's like the ultimate badass bit in it, really.
Yeah.
Like,
You know,
fucking.
get away from her, you bitch, is just such a great moment.
It's classic.
Yeah, what about you then? What would be your standout scenes?
I think for me, it was like as a little kid, I was so obsessed with all the like militaristic stuff. A lot of the time, I would pause the movie once the like basically once the shit hit the fan, I'd be like, I don't want to watch it anymore.
Only for a character, as I said.
Because I love like the stuff like them getting in the dropship and
Yeah.
like and Hudson going like express elevator to hell going down and all
Yeah.
that. And you know the drum beats when they're all getting geared up and they're running out to the dropship
Yeah.
to the APC and stuff. I loved all that. That was like military porn for me as a kid. I was like, oh, I fucking love an APC.
You pause it to go over Chaz really quick.
So weird. I just like I've always loved like the aesthetics of like the tank, of the dropship, even the Sulaco and stuff. So I love all that stuff.
Well, you'd fucking get on well with James Cameron then, because he loves that shit. It's in every one of his movies.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe some of his. I really do like some of Avatar because it's like it's just the same aesthetic.
Oh, yeah.
Transferred into Avatar, and I'm like, ooh, I love the ships.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough for me to like highlight movies. I think Let's Rock, like that.
Oh,
bit, is like probably up there. And then just the bit when like Ripley takes charge and like drives the tank, the APC into the hive and stuff.
Yeah, I forgot to mention before I had that in my notes, that's my favourite bit of horror score, that music. That music's so classic. And
Definitely.
like when I was saying the other week, like with the Hard Target work print, like that's used in the action sequences because the temp score and it
It's
works
like
perfectly.
unmistakable.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah,
piece of music you just recognise instantly.
yeah, it's so good.
So yeah, I think it would be tough for me to pick an absolute favourite because the whole fucking movie's like up there.
Well, I do remember you always saying though the scene where Ripley and Newt are trapped in the room with the face hug always freaked the fuck out of you when you were a kid.
Yeah, actually, it's a good shout. Actually, yeah, it's one that like probably psychologically scarred us.
I think it did.
When I think back,
Yeah.
because I had a real problem with like I had a cabin bed as a kid, like from being like 9 to 13 or something.
Yeah.
And I was always like mortally afraid of going under it in case there was like something in there.
Yeah.
I just have this like weird distant memory of being a kid and being like, okay. And it was just because of Alien and like them being like under the bed themselves, but then there being something in the room with them and stuff. And even to this day, like there's times where if I play like an Alien game, you know, like even the shit ones like the Colonial Marine game and stuff, like there's a psychological trigger in me where when there's a facehugger like flopping about on the floor, I'm like, oh, I just can't deal with it.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, they're just like such a well designed, and it's just the way they filmed them as well. Like there's that shot where like Ripley's backing up on the ground and it just comes charging at it. Like that's terrifying.
Yeah. It's the creativity in Alien and Aliens, the cinematography and the creativity. Like, so that scene, it was just reverse photography.
Oh, yeah.
They put the face hugger on her face, wrapped the tail around her neck, and then they just pulled it away. And then they pulled it away, like away from the camera as well in a second shot. It's simple stuff, but
Yeah.
it just looks crazy as
The
fuck.
simple stuff always works the best.
Yeah, no need for CGI, just
Nope.
reverse photography, basically.
Yeah. I did see Fede Alvarez, who's directed Romulus. He said like he got in contact with a lot of like the special effects guys who worked on Aliens. So
promising, isn't it?
their
Yeah.
input on the movie and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to Romulus.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly there's a bit in the trailer that piques my interest where like there's a facehugger, like you actually see a close-up shot of the facehugger trying to put its like tube into someone's mouth,
Oh no.
and it's like, oh, that's like
New nightmare for you?
That's gonna be a rough watch for me. But it's like, yeah, I guess they've never like
No.
explored that idea of like it just getting in your mouth.
No,
Basically.
I think I thought that when I was watching Aliens this time, I kept expecting that shot of like the thing like going towards the mouth. I'm like, oh no, you never see that.
No.
Yeah.
Guess it was like too sexually suggestive for the
Yeah,
time, maybe.
just too minging. Isn't it?
Yeah, but they've done it in this new film. So.
Oh, well, excellent. So Blu-ray, basically just what I mentioned before, like the box sets, if you want like a shitload of extras. Although I don't know if the extras are on the 4K. That's your other option, the new AI enhanced 4K that's a bit ropey.
Yeah, like I probably won't buy it.
No.
I haven't bought it so far, but I also get the feeling, sadly, that this might be the version that we have for a long time.
It will be.
At this point. I don't think we're going to get like a new 4K that's better.
Is it? It's the special edition, right? As
It
well?
is, yeah.
So is the theatrical version on there in 4K or not?
I don't know for sure. I have a feeling it is, but I think it's just
A Blu-ray.
yeah. But yeah, it was such a shame. I've watched numerous reviews of it at this point to try and convince myself that maybe it's not so bad and I should get it.
Yeah.
It looks fucking terrible. It looks really
Yeah, I
bad.
mean, there's like, it's obviously going to look good in parts because it's in 4K, it's a brand new transparent stuff. But just like you say, there's screen caps about of like just shit looking like weirdly fake and like not how it's supposed to look. And they scrubbed every fucking inch of grain from the movie and stuff to make it
Yeah.
look current. And I wish people would stop fucking doing that.
Yeah, because grain's such a big part of Aliens.
It was shot on film. Stop pretending it wasn't. Well, no, it was.
'Cause, yeah, there's a few bits where just some low points of the 4K. There's bits where like the alien, the marine cams that are in the movie, and it's all like great, super grainy footage, the black and white cam footage.
Yeah.
Like the AI's trying to like correct that, and so if you look towards the bottom of the frame, there's like weird marbling going on, where it's trying to smooth out the like fuzz and stuff. But then there's other bits where there's a bit where it's like the AI must have gotten frozen, and there's grain on Ripley's face, but it's completely static throughout the scene.
Yeah.
So when it's like when they stood over the table, like looking at the plans.
Yeah.
There's like grain on her face that doesn't move for like 2 minutes or something. It's like completely still on her face because the AI's like isolated it and kept it still or something. It's weird.
Jesus.
Like what the fuck? But even worse than that though, there's a bit where the AI tries to put a mouth on Vasquez, like the side of her face.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying.
Yeah, I mean, granted, she's like small-ish. It's the bit when they're all getting ready in the dropship hangar.
Yeah.
And she's like coming into scene like at the back of the hangar. And yeah, for a split second, there's like a hole on the side of her face because the AI's like, oh, that's a face. Here's a mouth, and then it's like, oh fuck, it's the side of her head, and it like corrects itself.
Jesus.
It's like, oh,
Like, what was the quality control like? Did James Cameron just go and flick a button and go, looks sharp, just leave. I'm back to making Avatar 5.
yeah. Apparently, they just ran it through the filter and banged it onto disc.
Fuck's sake.
Weird.
It's fucking fair enough. That's annoying anyway. But like, people have been waiting for this for a long since it's one of those films people have been waiting for since 4K became a thing.
Yeah.
Where the fuck's Aliens? Where's True Lies, especially because that didn't even have a proper Blu-ray release.
No,
They made fucking 4K.
Yeah, it's like a black mark on like the physical media of today at the moment, like AI remaster jobs. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it needs to fuck off until it's like give it 5 years, please.
Yeah,
Just wait.
because the technology will get there eventually.
Oh, of course
and I
it
think
will.
It's invaluable. I think Christ, you can't have like 100 people spending 10 hours a day remastering these films by hand. It's insane.
I think AI at this point, AI for using in movies, is what CGI was in like 2002 when people just used the fuck out of it. You look at them films now and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's a PlayStation 2 cutscene.
You look at Blade 2 and stuff.
Yeah, fucking Attack the Clones or something. And you're like, how did the fucking look at this and go, that looks amazing, that looks real. Looks real. So yeah, what about art and shot?
Yeah.
Let's get what fucking gallery up.
Private gallery. Just again some sort of highlights for me. So there's one by Adam Stothard. It's the one that's kind of blue with the alien queen on it.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Very nice. Just dead colourful. Some of these I've got as well. Like that one looks really good in hand. Really amazing.
I bet.
There's the one by Roger Mutkus as well.
Oh yeah,
Again,
that's nice.
kind of blue with it's like floating heads. But really, really nice.
They really captured Bill Paxton's franticness.
Yeah, his sweaty, I've just given up face. But the Rory Kurtz one, though, right next to it in the list.
Oh yeah, that's nice
really
and dark. Yeah.
Capture the movie really well. The shot of just the aliens. I always tempt myself to draw some aliens, but then I think, well, Rory Kurtz has just fucking done it. Like, what's the point? I could never do any better than these two pictures, basically. Because the one with her in the hive is like so good.
Oh yeah, that just almost looks like a fucking shot from the movie.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The one by Vance Kelly, the Let's Rock moment.
Oh yeah,
really, really good.
yeah, that's cool.
Again, like I like the fact that it's from a different angle. Almost, it's like that scene, but from a different angle.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, really cool. And then just lastly as well, just to mention, so both movies, the art set by Aurelio Lorenzo. The one that's Alien and Aliens.
Yeah, that's nice.
Side by side.
Yeah, I do like his style.
Yeah, really, really good. And that's like a great. I don't have those two, but I would really like to have those two like on the wall next to each other.
Are they quite old now?
Year or so, a couple of years. I feel so. Yeah, I think they're kind of available, but kind of expensive as well. Unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, there's so much art out there though.
Oh, there is
for both these movies.
Yeah.
Never ending.
This is making up for there being a lack of art in the Van Damme month.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, we could do a whole fucking show just talking about the art.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
So as I said, when we're talking about Alien, though, obviously when it comes to video games, usually people go to the Aliens for.
Yeah, it's the most action. It's easy to adapt, isn't it? It's the most action packed. Yeah.
So there was a Commodore 64 game, of course, in 1986, Aliens, the computer game.
Yep.
It's fairly janky. We'll have to play on it when you come over.
Excellent, looking forward to it.
But yeah, there was another Aliens game in '87 as well that was released on various platforms, like a side scroller. There was a one where a top-down view. It released in '87 where you controlled the Marines. It was like a strategic sort of game before strategic games.
Never heard of that before. The only one I'm familiar with, really, as far as Aliens go, is the arcade game, like the side-scrolling shoot 'em up. Yeah, which I used to like playing. Yeah.
And obviously, there's kind of an Aliens game. I always credit as being Aliens as Alien Trilogy.
Yeah.
Just because on the PlayStation and Sega Saturn, released in 1996. But you basically you're in a colony that looks like LV4. It might even be LV426, but I can't remember.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember. I remember it being like a first-person shooter, but it wasn't, because they both came out. It came out around the same time as Die Hard Trilogy, but it's not the same as that. It's not three separate games now.
No, it's all just like one storyline, one arc.
Kind of confusing. They're just called Alien Trilogy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about.
Yeah.
But yeah, pulse rifles, you've got the smart gun, shotgun, all that sort of stuff. It's essentially the Aliens game.
I remember enjoying it at the time.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it is a good game.
Yeah.
Just don't play it now. Although we will play it now because we'll probably chuck it on when we do a playlist. Obviously, though, the only other one I want to mention is the Alien versus Predator games, which are of course heavily influenced.
Oh yeah.
Off the back of Aliens, plays a Marine. You've got smart gun, pulse rifle, all that sort of stuff. Motion tracker. Those games were really good. I think the first one came out in 1990, and then the last one was 2016. I'm tempted to say those like three of them. They're always really good. It's such a shame like somebody isn't making a new one of those with the technology we have now, because we did have Colonial Marines, which was like just a piece of shit. Yeah, basically, a total missed opportunity.
Imagine an Alien vs Predator game with the Alien Isolation engine or something.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, because I like that one. I think we were talking about it the other night. What was the one that you gave to me for the PC, where it was like a first-person shooter and you could choose a Marine, an Alien, or a Predator? Yeah,
that was. I'm pretty sure that was like the Alien vs Predator Gold Edition version that I gave you.
Yeah, because that was fun.
Yeah, like. You play as an alien or a predator, you feel like a badass.
You play as a Marine, you're terrified.
Yeah, the Marine. Anxiety inducing.
And there's just loads of parts where they'll just make a pipe on a wall look like an alien, and you just waste half your ammo shooting at pipes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really clever design.
Yeah. But of course, play it now and it just looks like Pac-Man.
Probably, yeah. It's all like shit graphics and stuff.
Yeah.
I suppose I should mention Aliens Fireteam Elite as well, which was a dreadful co-op sort of shooter game.
Yeah, I got that when it was free on PlayStation a couple of months ago, and I was just like, this is all this game is, isn't it? Go to point A, shoot aliens. Go to point B, shoot aliens. Get graded, earn points, and then fuck off.
Yeah, it has its fans, I guess.
I'm sure it does. It's not my type of game.
Not for me.
No.
Speaking specifically about home releases and stuff, I sent you the pictures for something that I always wanted and I never got round to. Maybe I will one day. Is the Alien Trilogy box set that came out.
Yeah, no,
back
with
in the 90s.
Carry case with a facehugger on it.
Yeah, really cool design. I remember looking at pictures of that, sweating, looking at pictures of that in magazines, going, I will own you one day. And then obviously DVDs came around and it just got forgotten about. But God, I really wanted that version for some reason.
It looks stunning still today. Yeah, so you get Alien 1 to 3 with the making of Alien 3 on a separate video.
Yeah.
A big fucking book full of behind-the-scenes pictures, art cards, badges, a T-shirt.
T-shirt as well, yeah. I always like the idea that it comes with 4 VHSs and you could like replace the making of with like Alien Resurrection when it came out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you could still have the like set, but obviously it doesn't work now because there's like Den of the Bastards or something. But
and why would you want to stain your trilogy with Alien Resurrection?
True. Yeah, I suppose you could just be a purist and have that and be like, well, they only ever made 3.
Yeah, it's a shame they didn't make another one.
Totally. Speaking of things that shouldn't have happened, though, they were going to make an Aliens cartoon TV series at one point. Hence the long list of Aliens toys that came out by Kenner.
Yeah, like we were talking before the show, like I had one of those, but even as a kid, I was like, why the fuck are the Aliens figures all of a sudden? Like 1992? Like, what the fuck? Like, I know Alien 3, but they weren't Alien 3, they were Aliens figures.
I was blown away by them, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the best thing since sliced bread for me when they came out. I had Drake and thought it was really good. I was excited to get them all until I actually saw them in the flesh. I think I saw them at like Toys R Us or something. It was like, what the fuck is this shit? Bishop comes with a minigun and he's basically a robot. Like they totally missed the whole android aesthetic, like Bio sort of.
Yeah.
They just went, he's a robot, give him a metal face.
Yeah.
And a metal arm.
He should have just come apart at the waist and then you press a button on his back and milk comes out his head.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, maybe his kids did that.
Yeah.
Just filled him with milk. My favourite of the line is the Marine that people often talk about, O'Malley.
Who's O'Malley?
I assume he must have been a character from the TV show, maybe, that they were going to have. But it's just some Irish fella with like red hair. He's like stereotypical Irish looking man.
Yeah, you can bet that was one of the producers. That was his pitch.
Yeah, totally.
I've got an idea, guys. O'Malley, and they're like, but he's not. He wasn't an alien.
Yeah.
Do you want money? Yeah, then you're putting fucking O'Malley in the show.
And he's going to be Irish, and he's going to make Irish funny jokes all the time, and have a drink problem and stuff. They're like,
and they were like, who's that guy? It was like, oh, that's Pete O'Malley. He's one of the producers. I see.
Totally. I believe though that. So I think they did film at least a pilot. I think mostly the footage has been lost. There's some like 20-second clip like from a Betamax or something. Yeah. And there are some screen grabs that float around.
It'll be found one day.
Yeah, never say never.
Someone came across a fucking 16mm print of like that lost Ghostbusters pilot that was like 5 minutes long as well, and 4K'd that up. So it'll be somewhere. Someone will.
Yeah, eventually. But yeah, what a weird concept. Aliens. I guess, you know, you did get a lot of this stuff. So like RoboCop had a cartoon show, and then an eventual TV series.
Rambo had a fucking cartoon.
Rambo,
show.
Yeah.
I think Chuck Norris had his own cartoon series.
Oh yeah, undoubtedly. Yeah, just Chuck Norris the show basically.
I think it was like Chuck Norris and Pals, one of those kind of shows.
Yeah, it was a strange time for like, I guess just adult like IPs getting made into child-friendly things.
I always think it's a mixture of like either they've looked at something and went, you know, this would appeal to kids if we just toned it down, or they've went, you know, kids are already watching this. They're already watching their parents' fucking tapes.
Yeah,
sneaking into the cinema. So let's just cash in on it. Yeah,
yeah, genius, I suppose, in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. I didn't want to talk about the modern toys. There's a shit ton of modern toys out there, obviously, for both Alien and Aliens. NECA is like the font of all toys, pretty much, for that stuff. Hot Toys have dabbled as well in Alien and Aliens. The stuff's out there. I would say, though, it's kind of a shame that Aliens hasn't... Well, they've never gone back to Aliens Hot Toys. No. They did Aliens when they were a very young company. So there are Marine figures out there, but you're talking like, you know, at least 10-year-old, probably older, 15-year-old figures.
They might get back to it. They've got a relationship with Disney, obviously, and they own fucking Fox now. So.
I would hope so. One time, because they would be like instant pre-orders for me.
Oh yeah, if they did like all the Marines. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
would you even buy Gorman?
Too right. He's the hero of the movie.
He is. He's one of he's a low key MVP in the movie. Really. When he fucking suddenly starts kicking ass and rescues Vasquez at the end.
You always were an asshole.
Oh yes, yeah. So yeah, that's Aliens. It's decent. It's a decent film.
It's all right.
It's no shock and dark, but it's decent.
Champion Cinema.
So next week, speaking of shock and dark, that was an unintentional segue. Next week, we're going to do two films, once again, influenced by Alien and Aliens, with Contamination from Italy and Inseminoid from the UK.
Nice.
I'm looking forward. I want to see Inseminoid for years. So
Yeah,
I'm looking
yeah.
forward to watching it.
Yeah, it's always fun seeing like these movies that are like influenced by these films as well.
Although, reading up on Inseminoid, it seems like it's another case of like a film being delayed and unintentionally looking at cash in.
Yeah, really.
I think it's one of those, like, they had the idea a few years before, but then it didn't get greenlit till after Aliens. So I think it's probably one of those, I think it's a bit of both, probably.
Yeah.
They've had a script that was very similar, and they were like, we'll make it a little bit more similar in a few different ways.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
We'll see, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah, catch us on Instagram at Champion Cinema Pod. Rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on YouTube, and all that jazz. And until next week, with Contamination at Seminoid, I will see you down the pit.
See you in the heap.